and welcome to the late night Smackdown show with me, Mr. Geek Boy Meta, or you can just call me Leon. That's my actual name. I really should tell people that more often, actually. First of all, I'm starting off with an apology. So most of you who subscribe know that I'm not the best with technology, ironically enough, which is pretty not helpful when you're trying to do what I'm doing. Anyway, long story short, I've just realised that in scheduling of the late night SmackDown reaction show, hosted by me, I have scheduled it for 10:30, and have just realised to my horror it was 10:30 and not 11 o'clock, as I thought I had scheduled it. So if anyone was waiting, I very very much apologise. Complete accident. I'm just stupid basically. So yeah, very very sorry about that, guys. SmackDown. Let me just have a look because I'm totally disorganised as per usual. I do have some notes. Which I took earlier. I'm going to have to go onto my laptop. So while I'm doing that, just to say to you guys that this will be on YouTube, obviously YouTube videos, and it'll be on. It's also on YouTube podcast. So I should really mention this actually, because I always forget. Basically, the podcast is called Geek Boy: A Wrestling Story. So you can either watch it through the channel, or you can listen to it for an audio through the channel, and it's got links, and you know the score. You just press the link, and it should be on. So hopefully the link for that, for the show now will be on probably tomorrow afternoon, I would have thought, give or take, maybe 1 o'clock. So yeah, you can rewatch it then. And yeah, I'll chat to you about a couple of other things I've got going on. Going out to see, obviously, most of you guys know who subscribe to me, if I can actually say the word, that I'm a massive Red. So I'm going out to see the Liverpool Man City game tomorrow. Shout out to the brother, looking forward to that. Watching it at Headingley, probably a boozer called the Oak, which should be really, really cool. So yeah, I'll be doing a live reaction to that tomorrow, and I've got a few very cool things coming up. Someone is going to see Chris Jericho this week. Yeah, it's not like I've got a private audience with Chris Jericho. Basically, I'm going to see Fozzy in Bradford on when am I going? The hell am I doing that? When am I going to see Fozzy? On Wednesday. So basically, the plan is I'm going to basically get as much footage as I possibly can do with Fozzy. Obviously, you've got the whole copyright thing with the music and stuff. I don't know how that's going to work. But I'll try and get as much as I can do. I'm hopefully gonna, because I think I'm quite close to the stage actually. I'm just gonna try and get some bits and pieces of Chris Jericho talking and stuff. So that the gigs at what time is it? Gigs, I think it's at 9 o'clock on Wednesday. So I'm not sure if I'm staying in Bradford, which is where the gig's going to be. But yeah, I'm going to basically, long story short, I'm going to upload everything from the Fozzy gig and hopefully some words from Chris Jericho, fingers crossed, which will be really, really cool. And that'll be on Geek Boy Does Wrestling. That's the playlist for all the wrestling stuff that I do. So yeah, leave that one with me, and hopefully it'll be cool on Wednesday. So there we go. Yes, let's have a look. Size. I'll just call you Carty because I can't even read that. Carty. Oh no, Carty 6'7". My goodness. My son literally. He's obsessed with that 6'7" thing. It literally, he must say it about 50 million times a day. It's right pain in the backside. So thanks for that. I'm so handsome. Oh well, thank you, Byron, for that. I don't think I am. I think I'm quite ugly and fat, to be honest. But I'll take the compliment. Cheers. Good boy. Okay. Thanks for that, Arthur. A bit weird. By the way, guys, I'm kind of doing double duty. I'm kind of watching Match of the Day as well at the same time as doing this. If I keep leaning over, it's because I've got Match of the Day on in the background. If you don't watch football and don't know what Match of the Day is, then don't worry about it. If you do, then currently I'm watching Arsenal versus Sunderland. Yeah, you lucky me. Right, so getting into SmackDown, basically, I've got my notes. Let's have a look. Therese Mary Cover. I'll just call you Mary because I won't be able to read all that because I can't pronounce names and stuff, Mary, to be honest. So, yes. Hi, how you doing? You all right? Hey, Zishan, how you doing? You all right? Nice hoodie. Oh, cheers, cheers, Zishan. Thank you very much. It's not actually a hoodie, bro. To be honest, all I've done is just put that over the top. I've actually got another shirt underneath. In fact, I've got another hoodie underneath. Just give me a sec. There we go. Ghana. Yes, because I am British Ghanaian, for those of you who don't know. So yeah, this is just over the top. I just felt like a bit of a change because I'm always wearing wrestling merch and stuff. So yeah, there we go. Let's have a look. Yeah, hi Mary. Do you think Slot will get replaced by Alonso at the end of the season? Hello, I'm him. Yeah, well, we've gone on to Liverpool straight away instead of the wrestling, but that's absolutely fine. Do I think Slot will get replaced by Alonso at the end of the season? To be totally honest, I'm him. Yes, I do. I I think basically, dude, that I think the only way Arne Slot keeps his job now is if he wins the European Cup, and that's really rubbish. That's the right goal. That's the right goal. Sorry, I'm watching back to the day as well, guys. Who was that? Oh, was that Zubimendi? Who we should have also signed, and I kind of wish we hadn't. I don't know if anyone's seen the Arsenal game today. I'm just having a look now. Let me have a look. That's a brilliant finish. Like I'm truly been cheering for Arsenal, but if you haven't seen it, just look at Martin Zubimendi's goal against Sunderland today. It's absolutely brilliant. He's literally just swiped it with the outside of his right boot, and it's hit the angle at the goalkeeper's near post, and it's gone flying in. By the way, anyone who's listening on this is a podcast. If you wonder what the hell's going on, I'm just watching Match of the Day and talking about football as well. So just bear with me a second. But yeah, to be honest, I'm him. I think the only way Slot survives now is if he wins the European Cup. So I don't think he survives if he gets Champions League. I don't think that's going to be enough. I don't think he survives if he gets Champions League and FA Cup, which is would be a bit ridiculous because then it's like, well, if he won the FA Cup, he's also won the Premier League, been to a final, got us to got us into the Champions League, and it's like that'd be a bit harsh. Look, I mean, if to be honest, dude, if he wins the FA Cup and the European Cup and qualifies the Champions League, which obviously we qualify for because we win the European Cup, I mean, if he got sacked after that, that it really is not on. That really would not be on at all. That would be like completely outrageous beyond words. Um, but yeah, I honestly don't. I think unless he wins the European Cup, I just don't see a world where he carries on. I could be completely wrong. Obviously, they did that round table the other day when it was, I want to say it was Billy Hogan, Richard Hughes, and Arne Slot. I still haven't seen it, but I know the clips, and obviously they look very pally and this, that, and the other. But it was released obviously by Liverpool TV. Obviously, it wasn't an independent interview like we get with Sky or ESPN and stuff like that. So obviously they were saying all the right things and like patting each other on the back and all this, not all this stuff. So yeah, and to be honest, in all seriousness, I think unless he wins the European Cup, I think he's gone. To answer your question, but I'll take European Cup. That's absolutely fine. Let's have a look. Hi, Zishan, you all right? British bottle of water, tea, drink, yellow tea. If we won the war, lol. Yeah. Yeah, I think we'll just hide you, sunshine. Let's have a look. It's not messing about videos. Man, why am I sad? Hi. Oh, we have a sarcastic homophobe. Um, yeah, Masterakis. Oh, okay, fair enough. Why are you a complete prat, sunshine? See you. Right. Anyway, yeah, sorry about that, folks. I do apologise. Unfortunately, Anthony, but only on non-spare phone again. Hi. Hi, Kitty. You all right? How you doing? He's not on Anthony, but I'm on spare phone. How are you? I'm fine, Kitty. How are you? Uh, I'm him. Oh, that's Jokerez just got a second. Do you think they've brought too many big names and they're struggling good times? Okay, fair enough. Cool. I wish you were Batman. Do you think we've got too many big? Well, dude, to be honest, mate, I, they've kind of all gelled now, though. I mean, if you remember, I'm him. I'm not saying that name ever. You won't catch me out. But if you remember, we were absolutely slating Kirkes for basically big, well, shit, basically. Um, dude, he's been fantastic the last 2 months. Absolutely, he's probably been one of our best players, Kirkes, the last 2 months. So, um, he's been great. I don't think you can judge Frimpong. Look, I've seen Frimpong in real life against Barnsley. When I went to the game, as you know, I thought he was absolutely sensational. Absolutely sensational. And I think he's been really good most of the time. So he maybe needs a bit more time. Obviously, he's been unlucky with the injury, so I think he's fine. I think Mamadashvili is obviously going to be the number one. I think he's made like maybe one bad mistake since he's been at the club. I don't think he's done anything that's too ludicrously horrendous. So I'm just fast forwarding match of the day because I'm behind. Let's have a look. We've just done Arsenal, Sunderland. So what am I on to now? What did they show now? Oh, Man United versus Tottenham. No, thank you. Let's get rid of that. I'm not watching Man United on a Saturday night in my own house, especially when they've just won. Yeah. Now, what was I saying? So yeah, Kirkes and Frimpong have been fine. Mamadashvili's been fine. Obviously Ekatike, that's absolutely fantastic. The only one, to be honest, I'm him that I'm getting to. I do wonder whether we've made a mistake with Alexander Isak. And the only reason I say it, obviously, it's a bit unfair of me to say because he's legit injured. It's not like he was pulling up trees. I mean, I want to say he's played 15 games for the club, 10 starts, he's got 3 goals. I mean, I appreciate he's not had the pre-season. That's not exactly brilliant. It's not really what one would expect for playing 125 million for a striker. Whereas we did have Luis Diaz. Now I know there was a lot of Liverpool fans who I always got stick from Liverpool fans saying, "Oh, Diaz isn't that good," but he was always good for 16 or 17 goals a season and at least 10 assists. So if you look at it at the moment, let's say that's roughly 28 goal contributions. At the moment, Alexander Isak, because I don't think he's made this. He might have made one assist actually. He's 24 behind that, and he's not due back until April. Is he going to make 24 goal and assist contributions in 7 weeks? I would probably politely suggest not. So, plus, if we'd kept Diaz and kept the money, then that buys potentially Mark Gay, that buys Fikayo Tomori, that maybe buys, I don't know, like just because I'm watching Newcastle at the minute, maybe Sven Botman, someone like that, really, really decent central defenders. And then maybe we're not in the shit that we are, pardon my language, the shit that we are in now defensively, because we basically have 2 central defenders and that's it. So I'd say all of them are fine. I mean, obviously Freddie Woodman doesn't really play, but he's decent enough goalkeeper, so that's not an issue. I'd say the Isak one, mate, is that to roundabout answer your question, I'd say the Isak one is the one that could go very, very wrong. I hope it doesn't, but we'll have to wait and see. Let's have a look. King of Good Times. I'm Batman. Oh yeah, Batman. How you doing? You're right. I need to watch a classic movie. Can I get a recommendation? Can you get a recommendation of a classic movie? Let's have a look. Moustache Glasses. Moustache Glasses. I recommend Scarface. And the reason, again, podcast listeners who are listening to this in retrospect tomorrow, I will get onto the wrestling. I'm just answering everyone's very kind comments, apart from the homophobic ones from that complete moron that was on a minute ago. But he was a bellend, basically, so just ignore him. Oh, to answer his question, by the way, no, I'm not gay. I've got a very hot northern wife upstairs who's asleep in my big bed, and I've got a really cool son who I love in my awesome house. So thanks for that. Cheers. Um, yeah, I do sarcasm very well, guys. Yeah, no. To be honest, Moustache, I would go with Scarface. I don't want to say it's a classic, but I get because I'm quite old. I keep thinking Pulp Fiction's like 10 years ago, and it has occurred to me it's not 10 years ago anymore. It's literally like something in the region of 31, 32 years old. So if the nineties are now classic, I'll point you in the direction of Pulp Fiction, Scarface, and my personal favourite film of all time is The Shining. I'm a massive, massive horror fan, dude. So I would point you in that direction. The original Star Wars, stupid as it sounds, Empire Strikes Back, absolute stone cold classics. I thought I saw in the comments someone recommended Goodfellas. Yes, to that person. Goodfellas is one of the best films that's ever been made of all time. Absolutely fantastic film. I'm just looking actually because just behind me I've literally got. In fact, I'll try and show you. Oh no, I can't show you because the I was just going to say I'll show you all my DVDs, but basically where the big screen TV is that's currently showing Match of the Day, it would mean I'd have to show Match of the Day, and I might get copyrighted for that. So, but I'll point you in the direction of Evil Dead. I'm just looking at some of the stuff that I've got now. Die Hard, awesome film, and also one of my favourite films of all times is Ghostbusters. The original, not this crap that we've been subjected to recently. By the way, as well, slight side note, the gold Ghostbusters was brilliant, and I will have that argument with anyone. It's like, yeah, the women get over it, incels. But yeah, those have been my recommendations. But my number one recommendation, Moustache, is Scarface. Obviously played by Al Pacino. It's an absolute classic. So yeah, Scarface. Hope that helps. Let's look. Yes, Nick Walker, Goodfellas. Yes, absolutely, Nick. Absolutely. It's one of my favourites of all time. Do you know what? Goodfellas, I literally, it's one of the reason Goodfellas is awesome is say you've got a routine, which all of us have to, um, and you do this on a Tuesday, this on a Monday, and so on and so forth. If Goodfellas is on TV, I will just drop everything I'm doing and start watching it at any point during that film. It's just absolutely fantastic, wonderful, wonderful film. Watch Andersonville. Thank you 313. I've never heard of it. I'm afraid. Remember me and Anthony said I was. I'm Anthony. I said I was in Scarborough. Oh yes, hi Kitty. You're all right. Yeah. Yeah. Funnily enough, my beloved upstairs is from Scarborough. I think I was going to say that to her, didn't I? I completely forgot. That's a couple of Scarboroughians I've had on. Yeah, no. My favourite place in Scarborough is Fish Pan. As you can tell, because I'm a big boy. I keep saying to my missus because sometimes we don't always go as a family sometimes, so I'll come down for a couple of days when I'm at work, and they'll go down as in my son and my missus. That's a brilliant finish from Brentford, by the way. Yeah, they'll go down, and I've always said to my missus, "Can I just take some fish pan on a train back home to Leeds?" And she's just like, "No, you can't do that. It'll stink out train." It's like, well, who cares? I'm not going to see these people again, am I? But so I am going to do that one day. But yes, shout out to Fish Pan. Also, shout out to Scarborough for Saint Maud, which is another wicked film, by the way. It was a bit weird though because I don't know if anyone's seen Saint Maud. Sorry if I'm going on a bit, by the way, but it's this really cool horror film that was shot on location in Scarborough, on like the main beaches and stuff, and on the promenade. And I've actually been up and down that. It's like this massive staircase. So it's when you've got the precinct of Scarborough and you're going down a hill, and there's a load of fish and chip shops and stuff. Halfway down that, I think I'm saying this right. There's like this massive, massive staircase, and they shot Saint Maud. From what my missus said, about halfway down. So I've actually been past that location. I don't know why I'm telling you about Saint Maud. Oh yeah, no, yeah, because of Scarborough. But yeah, Saint Maud, what a film. Apart from that, was the thing I was going to say. If anyone's seen Saint Maud, just watch it because obviously Americans and people like that won't know our accents and stuff, but everyone in there is either Irish or from London. Honestly, I challenge anyone to watch it. But it's a single voice from Yorkshire. honestly, it was just people that ended up sounding like me half the time. Um, but yeah, no, it was really really weird, but great film, absolutely great film. Yeah, we do like Scarborough. Let's have a look. Moustache glasses, worth the wait. Cheers. Yeah. No problem. Moustache glasses. Like I said, I definitely recommend Scarface. Another one I'd recommend for people who are on. Since we're talking about films and not wrestling, but I'll put a note in the thing, just basically saying if you're here for wrestling, watch it at minute whatever after the comments. But um, if you like your foreign language films, I'd recommend Old Boy, which is like a South. Is it South Korean? I think it's South Korean. It's like a South Korean like revenge sort of thing. I can't really describe it, but just type in Old Boy and watch it. It's just such a good film. Um, there's another one called Switchblade Romance, which is like this French serial killer film. And there's another French film called Cachet, which is I think that had Juliette Binoche and I can never pronounce his name. There's a gentleman that died, unfortunately. Daniel Toriel, I think his name is. I'm not too sure. But yeah, I'd recommend those as well. Oh, actually, I'm looking. I'll stop looking at my DVD shelf in a minute. Watch V for Vendetta. Brilliant film. Not totally not appreciated at the time, but let me put it this way: with some of the stuff that's going on in the world at the minute, V for Vendetta looks like a documentary series. So yeah, more recommendations. It seems the longer he was on strike, the better he got. He's a good player, but nowhere near what they paid for him. Yeah, I, I get it out of him. I'm getting it, but like do you know it's the same sort of thing that people have got with Gakpo now? Because like I keep repeating this, but like the issue with Gakpo for me is when people say he's only got one trick and all he does every season is, and this is literally a quote that someone, but I think it was on one of my shows actually. All he ever does is score 15 or 16 goals and he's only good for 12 assists. And I'm kind of listening to that and I'm like, well, he's not the central striker or forward. Mo Salah is. So as long as Mo's getting, which obviously he isn't, this is kind of one of the problems that we've got because Mo Salah has been dreadful this season. But let's say Mo Salah had been good, just for argument's sake, like he was last season. If you've got a striker that's assisting and scoring, 50 odd goals and assists, I mean, if the other fellow behind him's getting 26, 27 goals and assists, I mean, is that not enough? I mean, I mean, it'd be lovely, but we can't have 3 or 4 strikers who are getting 50 assists and 50 goals a season. No one, literally no one in world football has that. So, I mean, it'd be lovely, but it's just not realistic. So, it's when all Liverpool fans are saying, get rid of Gakpo, um, obviously sell Chiesa and this, that, and the other. And it's like, well, leave us with whom exactly? I mean, that would leave us with. I mean, Salah's only there for another 18 months. You're talking, that leaves you with Ekatike and Ekatike, Florian Wirtz, obviously, Rio Ngamoa, who's hardly played, and what, Jaden Dans? I mean, obviously, no disrespect. I've seen Jaden, he's really, really good. And I do think Jaden Dans has got a chance at Liverpool, legitimately, I do. But I mean, he's going to have a hell of a fight to get into that team. So it's like, well, I mean, we can't just sell every single player. I guess what I'm saying with Gakpo is, and a little bit of Luis Diaz, to be honest, I'm him, is you need those. I mean, they're not even middle of the road players. They Cody Gakpo and Luis Diaz. They're not world, but these are absolutely superb professional footballers. And unfortunately, as much as you'd like to, you can't have world class footballers in every position. I mean, we've got a fantastic squad when everyone's available. But are every single one of them world class? I mean, I think Wirtz will be. I think Ekatike is definitely going to be. Mo Salah is obviously world class, or has been. Virgil van Dijk, world class. Alisson Becker, world class. Dominic Szoboszlai, as far as I'm concerned now, is world class in my opinion. I think Alexis and Ryan have the chance to be, but they haven't been very good this season. And maybe Milos Kerkez one day. Obviously, I wouldn't say he's world class at the minute by any stretch of the imagination, but he is very, very good football player, and obviously Frimpong is as well. So, yeah, you just can't. have like anyway. I've ranted on about Liverpool too much. Let's have a look. Can you mention me in your next short? My name is Anthony. A few weeks ago, I said I was in Scarborough. Remember? Yeah, just talked about that. Try a Clockwork Orange. Oh, I'm in. That's harsh though. That's a very very harsh film. I agree with you. It's a very very good film, but like. Do you know what it is with Clockwork? I won't say too much in case it's spoiler alert. I mean, it's like 50 years old now, basically, but it, it's not. The things with Clockwork Orange, like it's a bit weird because nothing actually happens in the whole film. I know that sounds really odd, but if you break it down, I mean, there's a few hooligans beating the living crap out of each other, and then the main hooligan gets the crap beaten out of him, and then he gets sent to. Well, I mean, we kind of find out, but you never find out. Basically, this detention centre, and then they do a load of experiments on him, and there's a thing with a Roman gladiator fight at the end. It is just proper weird. I know it's got to. They've made the film's meant to make social points and this, that, and the other, but it's like, yeah, that last 30 minutes though is just. I mean, the bit with the you'll know what I'm on about. I'm him. I'll just take my glasses off, but this bit. Sorry for being gross, but I'm him. Will know what I'm on about. That last 15 minutes was like, it's not really cool. That's that one. Actually, very quick story while we're on films, guys. Um, I'm pretty rock solid with not being scared at films. Pretty decent. Don't get me wrong. I mean, we've all been scared. Anyone who says they've never been scared by a film is a lying piece of you know what. But I'm usually all right with them. Evil Dead, Alien, Saws, Texas Chainsaw Massacre, this, that, and the other. I will happily just watch them at lunchtime at 2 o'clock in the afternoon. Doesn't bother me at all. The one thing that did freak me out, and the younger people will be sat there going, "Onk, what are you on about?" Was Paranormal Activity. Now the first one came out in. Could someone catch me up? I want to say it's 2007, 2008, something along them lines. Um, and basically, I'm going to swear again, so hands to his little ones. Basically, long story short, I shit myself. I couldn't tell you why. It's not even the scariest thing I've ever seen, but it was that bloody thing halfway through where the you had the bit with the Ouija board when it went, and I can't tell you why that was like, ugh, don't like that. And it was the other bit where, so not the bit at the end where the fella gets thrown at the door. It was the second to last haunting, but I was just like, oh, don't like that. And anyway, I'm sure this fella won't thank me for this, but I was watching this in Leeds because that's where I'm from. If anyone's from Leeds, we've got a retail park called Kirkstall. Yeah, Kirkstall. It's like Kirkstall Retail Park. So then we've got two lots of retail parks in Kirkstall. Anyway, long story short, there's like this View Cinema down at Kirkstall. Really, really cool cinema. I've been going there for years. I must have seen 200 films in that cinema at least. And I was watching on my own because I'm one of these weird people. I like doing things on my own. A lot of you guys notice my videos. I'm on my own with a lot of them. I've actually got loads and loads of friends, really cool mates. But I know this makes me sound really bad. When I'm not with my family and stuff, I kind of like doing stuff like that on my own, sort of thing. I mean, I go to Liverpool matches on my own. I go to gigs and AEW and wrestling on my own. Sometimes I go with people, but I know it just sounds really awful, but when there's a person there, you've kind of got to do stuff with them as well, and sometimes I just want to do. Anyway, basically, long story short, so I'm watching Paranormal Activity, and I am like bricking it. I'm like, I can do with this film ending pretty quickly. Anyway, there's this. I'll never forget as long as I live, because obviously I live in Yorkshire, and the people of Yorkshire don't exactly sound like me. And there's this one woman, and there's a few women at the front. They've got all like vodka in their handbags and this, that, and the other, and they're all passing it around. You can smell it from where I was, and so they're all absolutely free sheets to the wind. And it was the bit where you realise that the woman in Paranormal Activity is possessed. And the door opens, and this woman stands up. Bearing in mind, this is like a crowded cinema, and basically, I can't really do a Yorkshire accent, but she points and goes, "Everyone, look, a shadow." My missus won't thank me for that impression, but that's the best I can do. I mean, there's chaos. Everyone bursts into laughter. I am literally like, I'm like convulsing at this point, going, I need to get out of this cinema, and then everyone starts laughing. Anyway, film finishes, and there's these three lads in front of me, and they're holding up this other lad, and I thought to myself, oh, they've obviously been drinking, they've come in, and this, that, and the other. And then they got this bit of water, and they're trying to get water and like getting him to wake up, and I was like, look, just get him home in a taxi. And it suddenly occurred to me, the bloke's fainted, as in legit. I'm really sorry. I hope this bloke doesn't mind me telling his story. Well, I am anyway, but the bloke actually fainted at Paranormal Activities because I'd seen him in front of me and he sort of slumped down. I thought he was just chilling. But then his mates were like carrying on, there was arms going. I was like, what's this fella doing? Anyway, he's fainted with all the lads and they're all having to cart him out and someone had to take this fella home. And I was just like, oh my God, can you imagine, like the boys on the channel, can you imagine if you were out with your mates and I don't know, you went to see Saw 17 or something daft like that. Can you imagine if you were out in a group of lads and you fainted? I mean, Jesus Christ. Not there's anything wrong with fainting. I actually fainted the other day, not a problem. But like in front of a group of lads, I mean, I bet that fella's life was not worth living. Anyway, so I'll finish this story in a minute, but there's this car park that's next to View Cinema, and I'm sprinting across it. I am literally proper freaked out by this film. And I've chosen to watch it in the middle of the night. This is like 1 o'clock in the morning. So obviously there's people wandering around and like causing mayhem. But I realised one of my mates is over the road, or he was at the time. And literally I jumped into his arms because we was having a fag outside of his door. And he saw me coming along and was like, oh, hello, Leon. And I basically jumped into his arms like Scooby-Doo and Shaggy Doo on Scooby. And I was just like, please, can I stay with you? I'm so scared. He was like, all right, fair enough. And I literally stayed with him until daybreak. It was like 6 o'clock in the morning. He had to ask me to leave. So yeah, that was slightly embarrassing. Anyway, I don't know why I've just told you that story, but there you go. Hey Finn, how you doing? How you doing, son? You all right? Long time no see. I've been sticking to my bedtime. Oh, no problem, Finn. No problem. Cheers, by the way. Up for something Reds for tomorrow. Great pen from Palmer. Oh, yeah, Finn, I'm actually watching the day. I'm behind you. I've just seen the West Ham Burnley game. I'm just forwarding it on now because I literally only started a minute ago. What am I on now? Oh, yeah, Wolves and Chelsea. Yeah, I think so. I'm probably about 10 minutes behind you now. I would have thought. Is it a pen? It's out the area, isn't it? It's probably, to be honest with you, I've just seen it from a really funny angle. It probably is well inside the area. It just looked like it's outside. Yeah, that's a brilliant penalty. I've just seen it though. That is literally stone cold. Cole Palmer, Liverpool. Anyone? I'll just throw that one out there. You watch me get clipped for that. I got the 1990 blue England kit today for 35 quid from Sports Direct. Very cool, mate. Very, very cool. I used to have exactly the same kit, Finn. Exactly the same kit. I think my favourite England kit, this is when I used to be really, really bothered about England. I still wish England all the best, but I am, this will probably turn a few people off. I am team those guys who happen to be playing a certain team in the British Isles at work, which is slightly awkward for me for obvious reasons, but still. But yeah, I used to have the England kit team from World Cup 1998, so it was the one with the big blue collar, and it was like a baggy one back in the day. It had the three lines. It wasn't on the side, it was in the middle back in the day. So it had blue and it had like these red things on the side, red and blue. That was probably my famous one. But I think the white kit from World Cup 1990, just going back, because I'm a very old man, I can actually remember World Cup 1990 vividly. That's the best England kit of all time for me, just in my opinion. So look, can you mention me your next short? Because I want to be noticed by people. I can do, Kitty. You're not the only one. I'm poor as well. Very, very poor. The original got banned and they had to, yes, Clockwork Orange. I'm him, yeah. Had to re-release it later with parts of it missing. I've always been curious on what they took. Dude, to be honest, I can remember that time I'm him. I don't think you're anywhere near as old as I am, but I remember the old Video Nasty era. And it used to be on like proper like news channels that you'd have now. And like the people in the news were like, "This is evil. It's the work of Satan." And we had this thing in the 80s as well called Satanic Panic. I don't know if anyone remembers that, all like religious stuff of like horror things and this, that, and the other, and people devil worshipping because of certain ways that they dressed and so on and so forth. But yeah, the Video Nasty thing was proper real. I mean, like Evil Dead got banned in this country. I mean, I don't know if anyone's seen The Evil Dead. I mean, look, I'm the biggest Deadite Evil Dead. Bruce Campbell, Ash Williams, not the football player, but I'm the biggest Deadite Evil Dead fan you'll ever find. Literally, I've got shorts all over my channel. I've got. I mean, obviously, I'm not upstairs at the minute, but I've probably got at least 10 Evil Dead figures upstairs. I've got all the DVDs, I've got t-shirts, comic books, the works. I absolutely love The Evil Dead. It's absolutely top drawer. The one thing I'll say for the original Evil Dead and the second one, definitely the third one, the one thing they're not is scary. I mean, it's kind of scary, the first one. I suppose it would have been in the 80s, I guess, I don't know, but like all the late 70s when Sam Raimi made it. But it's like, dude, I mean, seriously, what are we doing here? I mean, that got banned. I want to say Texas Chainsaw Massacre definitely got banned in this country for a long time. Clockwork got banned. Trying to think. I don't think the. I think The Exorcist might have been okay. It was in the vein of one of them films anyway, and yeah, there was a boatload that got banned, and I've since seen all these films, and obviously, like I'm an adult watching them, but I'm kind of like, what's wrong with that? I mean, obviously they're violent horror films, but I mean, some of the stuff my son watches now. So for the younger people watching, you might have heard of something called Poppy Playtime with Huggy Wuggy, Kissy Missy, and I'm trying to remember the names. Daddy, is it Daddy Long Legs? There's the box thing, whatever it's called. There's like a monster that comes out of a box. I forget what it's called. Anyway, long story short, my son's watching this and he's 5 or 6 years old. And I come in and my missus is sat there, and all of a sudden we look and we're like, "What the hell is this?" And there's like this box thing comes along, and it's on a train on Poppy Playtime, and basically it grabs this person and like basically bites into him, swallows him, and then chucks away the remains. My son's watching this, going, "Yeah, Daddy, this is really cool." And I'm like, "Son, come here. What the is that?" And it's like, "Oh, it's Poppy Playtime, Daddy. All the children watch it." It's like, I'm sure they do, son, not when they're 6. And I basically turned it off. But I mean, obviously he's old now, so he watches all that stuff and watches FNAF and what's the other one? Rainbow something or other. Is it Rainbow Garden? Something Garden. I forget. There's like these red and white characters and this, that, and the other. Anyway, so he watches all that. Anyway, the point of that story is I was like, why on earth was that banned with some of the things the kids watch these days? It was just, yeah, I don't know, dude. I don't know, but yeah. I got scared watching Thomas the Tank Engine once. Don't think I was scared of Thomas. Maybe Gordon. He was a bit authoritative. Where was I born? I was born in Leeds, Finn. In Leeds that I live in now. We should do something together someday. Well, like I said, Finn, we can do, but obviously we can't at the minute for the reasons that we discussed the other day. And quite rightly so as well, because obviously I don't think I'd want, if my son came to me and said, "Dad, there's this influencer who wants to see me," I would just be like, "Yeah, not a chance, son. You'll be going with me and we'll be going to see this person." So, yeah, hopefully one day when you're about older, mate, definitely. Or if you happen to be about with a family member, that's fine. Bit of advice, kids and younger people: never, ever, 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 under any circumstances, get into a car. Now I'm going to sound like I'm really patronising, I don't know. Do not ever get in a car with a person you don't know. If you meet someone online, you take someone with you, you tell them your location, you keep your phone on, and you do it in a public place if you have to do it. Never ever go to someone's house. Bit of advice for you, because it's just not worth it. Yeah, sorry for being patronising. Anyway, let me have a look. Jordan, hey Jordan, how you doing, mate? Nice to see you again, pal. Are you doing all right, mate? Am I from Ghana? Well, I mean, let's have a look. I can't even read that. I'll just call you 665, dude. No, basically, my father was Ghanaian, God rest his soul, he died many, many years ago. And it's kind of like, obviously, I am basically full English. I've been in Ghana visited Ghana for about 3 or 4 months, maybe 6 months in total in my life. But obviously, I am part Ghanaian because of my old man, and it's the only link that I've got to the country. Mostly through the football team. I don't want to put everyone on a downer and stuff, but most of the people who know, and I've told this story before, I miss my old fella to this day. It broke my heart when he died, and literally that's the only memories that I've got left of him. So, yeah, that means the world to me. It meant the world to me that Ghana qualified. It's not a thing of me choosing Ghana over England to be a bit of a prick or an arsehole or anything like that. It's no disrespect to any. I'm basically English, and all lads I know are English, and it's no disrespect to anyone. But Ghana football is basically all I've got left to my dad, and that's why I support them, if that makes any sense, to be honest. So, yeah, there we go. Have you ever seen the original Clockwork Orange? See, I'm not sure I'm him, to be honest, because the copy I've got it's the old school VHS copy, but my copy came from like on them vintage stores that you used to get back in the day on the high street. I don't know if you still get them there. It was, when did I buy that? It was about 2001. So I don't know whether I've got the the redacted one. Oh, Everton Fulham, and Everton won today. No, thank you. Let's get rid of that. Sorry, I'm just being blatantly a bit of a baby today. I'm not watching Everton, Chelsea, and Man United winning in one day. That's just really, really rubbish. There we go. That was it. Bournemouth. I'm just going to pretend all three didn't win and that I dreamt it or imagined it or something. So yeah, to be honest, I'm not sure what the copy is. I've got it. It could be the one. I suspect it probably isn't. I will watch it again at some point. But yeah, we'll have to wait and see. Eventually, we'll give it 2 years. Absolutely, Finn, definitely. Yeah, like I said, Paul, everything's above board and stuff, because I wouldn't blame, obviously, your family, because if I was going around saying, oh, we should be, I would just be like, especially as a father myself, dude, I would just literally be like, what the F is this guy on about? So, yeah. And quite rightly so as well. Right, guys, so 42 minutes in. I'll just go through Smackdown very briefly. I'm just having a look at the time code. Right, people who are listening to this on podcast, obviously off the top of my head, if you didn't want to listen to all that beforehand, go to minute 43, which is when I'm going to talk about Smackdown. So, basically, we started off with there was a segment with Cody Rhodes and Drew McIntyre. I really, really like that. Just in respect of just the show just jump starting, because Drew came out and he was being proper cocky, holding the belt over his head and being smug and this, that, and the other. And Cody basically just absolutely comes out and just batters him. Basically, long story short, Drew McIntyre basically pisses himself and runs to the back. And Cody, I tell you what, there were some good promos last night. That first Cody promo was excellent. I've actually wrote a Substack about this today. If any of you guys want to check it out, it's free to subscribe to and all that. If you don't want to, then fine, don't worry about it. Those of you who know, I watched something called The Boys, and I've collected The Boys graphic novels since they came out. So The Boys came out in about 2006, wrote by Garth Ennis, who's, like, if you don't know, the best comic book writer in the world. I absolutely love him. Him and Frank Miller, absolutely awesome. And basically, there's a character called Homelander who Cody keeps being compared to in memes and stuff. And it's like, Homelander is going to be Cody, and Cody's going to be Homelander when Cody turns heel. The reason I'm telling you all this is because I think yesterday, and maybe I'm wrong, I think that was the start of Cody turning to the dark side. I can't really tell. Oh, hello. There's a full fight with Bournemouth and Villa. Look at Bendia. There's this huge Bournemouth defender, and basically Buendia's just like tried to start on him, and he's yeah, dude, like yeah, he'd kill you anyway. Where did I get to as well? This is like the worst thing yeah, but Cody basically cut this promo, and I think Cody Rhodes is going to turn heel. I am absolutely convinced by it now. Just because if you look at the last few times, Cody, I wouldn't say he's getting booed out the building, but he has been booed in at least 3 or 4 arenas recently. At least 3 or 4 arenas, and he got booed in England as well. You can tell by his facial expressions a little bit that I don't know, he's just like, you can tell there's something there. It's like, if you carry on booing me, I am just going to give it to you straight, sunshine. I think he's on the way to turning here. And the reason I say that is, I mean, in terms of WrestleMania, I'm kind of doing this half and half, but there was a strange bit on SmackDown earlier when the bit where they start announcing the matches for the next week's show. So they're going through the matches, and I think it was, I forget what one of the matches was, but who is it now? Might have been Rhea Ripley against someone or other, and they get to this other match, and it's Sami Zayn, Jacob Fatu, and Cody Rhodes. And I'm sat there watching them, sort of, maybe I've made a bit too much of this, but bearing in mind that's for qualification for the Elimination Chamber, I'm kind of sat there like, hang on, wait a minute. It's like, surely Jacob Fatu and Cody should be in that match, and arguably Sami Zayn as well. I mean, I would have thought, I mean, I've actually made a list, so let me have a look. I mean, obviously you've got Trick Williams, potentially you've got LA Knight, Obafemi. I think I would be astonished if he's not in this match. Brock Lesnar, potentially Brock Lesnar. I have a feeling someone like Penta might be in it. Damien Priest to make up the numbers. Sorry, Damien, I don't mean that rudely. Would Mello be in it? I don't know, maybe not, because he's obviously the IC champion. Maybe Joe Hendry, but Joe Hendry's just got the NXT title. The point is, it's like, well, I mean, surely you would have Jacob and Cody. I'm just like, what? Why have you like taken 3 of your biggest stars and put them together? It's just really, really, really odd booking, and it does make me wonder whether. Long story short, I wonder whether Cody loses next week and Jacob's the one who actually goes to Elimination Chamber, or Sami Zayn or something like that, and then maybe you've potentially got Jacob Fatu and Cody Rhodes going off into their own universe, doing their own thing, and maybe they fight for something or other, I don't know. The other thing that has occurred to me is Brock Lesnar needs a dance partner. And if you remember all the excitement about the advert that plays all the time now, so we've the one where they're playing pokers, you've got Cody, you've got Cody, Punk, Roman Reigns, who are obviously in the main event, and then you've got Lesnar and Cody. So Roman and Punk have obviously split off, and they're in their own little feud, and that leaves Cody and Roman. Cody and Brock, and I'm kind of like, maybe there's a reason that they had those 4. Maybe I'm just wondering whether Cody and Brock are maybe night 1. Because that doesn't need a belt. Brock Lesnar doesn't need a belt. Cody Rhodes is minted. He doesn't really need to be the champion at this point, does he? Then you've got Roman and Punk on night 2. I mean, in terms of star power, with Rhea Ripley, probably, I think Rhea Ripley's probably in the top 3 most over people in that company at the minute. Maybe those are the 2 main events, I don't know, but it did seem very, very odd that it was those 3 people put together. Let's put you in for pink handcuffs. Oh, thank you, Finch, for that, cheers. What would your son think if Cody turned here? Oh, dude, seriously, it would break his heart. Not as much as it would have done 2 or 3 years ago, because like obviously he used to cry when like Cody lost. I'm sure he won't thank me for telling the world that, but like when he was like, I don't know, when my son was like 7 or 8 or something like that. I mean, obviously now he knows it's a work and this, that, and the other. He's still not thrilled. I mean, when I told him that Drew McIntyre had beat Cody Rhodes, I could tell he was, because obviously I know my son very well. He he was simmering. He was like, "All right, okay, fair enough." And I was like, "Oh, he's not pleased at that at all." But I've tried to explain to him. Obviously, if you just have the good guy winning over and over again, you're going to get bored, right? And because my son's very young, he's like, no, I want people to win all the time that I like. And it's like, yeah, I get that, dude. But then basically, you're a Man City fan, essentially. Oh, sorry, sick man. I'm going to regret saying that tomorrow, aren't I? But yeah, just. Oh, yeah, so we did the Coda segment. Shout out to Julia, Kiana James, Rhea Ripley, and Io Sky. Badass match. That was an absolutely fantastic match. So to all 4 women, congratulations. That was super. Can I just say as well, I tip my hat to Kiana, um, and to a little bit of Julia. I mean, I know Julia's a fantastic wrestler and she's going to have a great career, but I've been slightly critical of Miss James. I have nothing against the woman at all. I just think her gimmick is terrible. I hate the lawyer handbaggy thing. It just gets on my nerves. Gets on my nerves completely. Um, but Kiana James was superb last night. She was absolutely brilliant. So shout out to Kiana, and Julia and Rhea and Nia. That obviously, if you haven't seen the match, just go and see it. Obviously, it's on Netflix, and it will be on YouTube now. It was brilliant. Really, really enjoyed it. Fun match, high impact stuff, totally engaging. I thought it was absolutely fantastic. So shout out to the 4 girls for that one. Um, then we had, what do we have? Lash Legend, Tiffany and Chelsea. Now again, same sort of thing. What's your opinion on pink fluffy handcuffs? Bit weird. Um, Speaking of weird, again, Lash Legend versus Tiffany versus Chelsea. This did not help Tiffany Stratton at all, in my opinion, because if you go back and listen to the audio, the uncensored ones, people were actually quite pissed. As in, not drunk in our country, as in annoyed. Um, that Chelsea had lost that match. Chelsea was proper over with that crowd. They were definitely cheering for her. I think she's going to turn babyface. I wouldn't be surprised if she does something with her husband. Everyone knows who that is. Woo woo woo. People were proper annoyed, and the run that Lash Legend's been on, people like Lash. I think Lash Legend's absolute quality, but I'm just like, why would you put Tiffany Stratton in that position? It just didn't make any sense because it just made her come across as a bit of a, not a you know what, but like, I think the crowd wanted either Lash or, I'd be wrong, but I think they wanted either Lash or definitely Chelsea to win more than Tiffany Stratton. Um, Tiff Stratton to me is a heel. Anyway, I wrote about it in my article today. She is a stone cold, if you pardon the expression, heel. I wouldn't say she's got no redeeming qualities. That I don't know the woman at the end of the day. And it's not me saying that she's an asshole or anything along those lines. I'm sure she's a perfectly nice lady, but her wrestling character is basically how I should have phrased it. Comes across as a bit of an asshole, and it's it's good enough for her not to be a heel. This is why Charlotte's always struggled. She's a perfectly good babyface Charlotte, but Charlotte Flair is one of the best heels in the business as far as I'm concerned. And whenever they try to turn a face, this is why they had to put Charlotte with Alexa, because it rubs off on people and they've done a really good job with that. But Charlotte Flair is a natural born heel. Same thing with Tiffany Stratton. Someone like a Becky Lynch can straddle both and do really good work. Up 2-0 leads. Yeah, I had the pleasure of listening to that last night. Our house sounded like an earthquake was going off because we live quite close to the ground. But yeah, I don't know why they put Tiffany Stratton in that position. I really, I just don't think that has helped her. I mean, especially that's the first match back on SmackDown. Don't get me wrong, it was a fine match, but I don't understand the thinking of Lash Legend not being on the show. Hi, Kitty, you all right? I don't understand that at all. I just think Lash Legend should be in the Elimination Chamber. Um, Maybe not Chelsea Green, but then again, why not? I think Chelsea's been really, really good. Maybe she deserves her time in the sun. Anyway, um, just a little bit of a complaint from me. So Tiffany Stratton basically is through to the Elimination Chamber. Um, the, Again, my son has taken a huge dislike to Kit Wilson. I'm really sorry, Kit, who is one of my countrymen. And I've heard Kit in real life. He does seem like quite a nice bloke, actually, but like obviously the gimmick, my son, and obviously I've tried to explain to him, it's like, look, son, Kit is trying to get over. He's doing the whole toxic thing because he wants people to hate him. My son's like, I don't like him. I completely hate him. What's this stupid toxic masculinity stuff all about? He's a bumhead and this, that, and the other. It's like, yeah, that's what he's going for, mate. He wants him to he doesn't want you to like him, but that's his wrestling character. No, he's an idiot in general. It's like I he not be, you know what I mean? But do you know what? For what Kit Wilson's been thrown into, because obviously he lost his tag team partner. Shout out to him as well. Yeah, yeah, like I said, Finn, my son. Let's have a look. Will you mention me and Miss Shaw? I will try to, Kitty. Yes. Um, what was I trying to say? Yeah, no, I think he's actually done okay, to be honest, with that gimmick. Really? I mean, it's terrible. It's a terrible, terrible gimmick. Basically, and I won't go into this for obvious reasons. Kit Wilson basically is WWE's Russell Brand, and I think there is a reason they're playing on that character, which I don't know if I can go into because I don't want to get in trouble for saying certain things. But I think there's a reason that they've made him Russell Brand and made him a bad guy. If you smell what the Rock is cooking. Anyway, do you know what? I think he's done not brilliant. See, I'm not a fan of the gimmick at all, but the fact that people are singing his name, it's kind of like I don't know, new Fandango from 10 years ago where everyone was singing his theme. So shout out to Fandango, by the way. He's yeah. Yeah, thank you for that. Yeah, I was just gonna say shout out to Fandango. I forget his name in real life. Is it Curtis, I think? I think it's good. I forget what his name is. Anyway, Fandango's actually just retired, and I was literally like, "What? Why is Fandango retired?" Dango, that's it. Who's working for TNA? That he's actually just literally retired, and I was like, "Why is he retiring for? He was like 30 a minute ago." And then I did the math on when he was at Mania, when everyone was singing his song, and I was like, "Oh, he's like my age, isn't he? And I'm 45." Ah, that's why he's retired. But yeah, shout out to Dango. But as Finn has just referenced, so Kit Wilson's giving it the big one, and he's just like, "I'll take anyone on." And me and my son both turned around and said, "Obafemi." And Obafemi comes out, and it was I don't know why, because it wasn't actually that funny. I thought it was one of the funniest things I've ever seen. Some of the bumps Kit Wilson took from Oba, who was an absolute beast of a man, an absolute unit. Like the way Oba threw him up in the air, it was like someone shooting a basketball. It was it was really funny. It was really, really funny. So shout out to Obafemi as well. Oba is over like Rover, if you want a bit of alliteration. That guy is. Do you know what the thing is with Obafemi now? I wouldn't be at all surprised if Obafemi, I'm not going to say wins the WWE title. I wouldn't be surprised if he won the Elimination Chamber. I really wouldn't, because WWE had a chance to do this with Jacob Fatu last year, and they should have pulled the trigger on him. And I was really annoyed that don't get me wrong, Jacob's in a good place now, but he could have been world champion by now. He could be on maybe not Cody's level, but they've wasted a good 6 months with Jacob, and then he got injured. He was so over, and I'm just trigger people like this bloke. They really, really do. And then they had him in this ridiculous angle with the MFTs and Solo Sikoa for far too long. Far too long. And Jake has got a bit of work to do now. But he's going to be a main eventer, Jake Fatu. Absolutely no problem. I just hope they don't do the same with Bron Breakker. I'm sure they won't, because I think Bron's going to be the next person in the business. And Gunther as well. I mean, like I said, they've got a hell of a roster coming up behind the lads that are retiring now, like Cena and AJ Styles. But Obafemi, I think, personally, I would pull the trigger. I would get him to WrestleMania. I would actually consider putting him in the main event with Drew McIntyre. Just throwing it out there. I know it seems a bit quick, but it's not like Obafemi is like some young boy, as Roman said the other day. Match of the day's finished. Let me turn something else on. Brilliant. Let's get some YouTube on in the background. Yeah, no, it's not like Obafemi's some young lad or anything. I mean, obviously he's been a professional wrestler for a good 10, 12 years, I would have thought by now. And the guy can go. He's got a great look. It'd be a bit unfair on Drew to lose his title straight away at Mania, but at least it looks like he's going to Mania event. I honestly would definitely think about getting Obafemi and putting him in, maybe not the main event, but he has to be one of the headline acts at WrestleMania now for me. Definitely. I think the guy is absolutely fantastic. Let me have a look. And then you had the thing with Jacob Fatu and Drew. So Jacob comes out, he batters Drew McIntyre as well. I was quite intrigued with the whole, not the MFTs, because as you got, I want Kit Wilson to join Elton Prince. Well, they were together, dude. They were together. It was Elton. He's the one that's injured, I think. I think it's Elton. I can't remember now, but yeah. The shout out to if that's his name, because I've forgotten the gentleman's name. Yeah, I hope he gets well soon, because he doesn't sound like he's in a very good way at the minute. I think Kit was speaking about it. It goes back to visiting and stuff like that, because they were like, I don't know if they're childhood friends, but they are friendly in obviously like real life. So yeah, I really hope that the fella comes back. I know he's got quite a young daughter and he's got a young family as well. So yeah, just shout out to you, dude. We all hope you come back fit and healthy. Why was I talking about that? I completely forgot. Oh yeah, so the Tama Tonga thing. I'm quite intrigued by Tama Tonga as a character, because I definitely think there's an upside there. Definitely. I just don't like the MFTs. Like I said, I don't want to keep going on about this. It's not them individual. I think Jeff Cobb's a fine wrestler. I'm not too sure about Taller. For me, he could do with being in NXT for a bit of a touch up. And it's no disrespect to him at all. He's not a bad worker by any stretch of imagination, but I just think he could maybe do with some seasoning. Obviously, Solo Sikoa is an excellent worker. No problem with him whatsoever. I just don't buy him as a mob boss. I brought him in the bloodline as a silent killer. That's absolutely fine. I don't like this thing that he's doing at the minute. I was trying to think of who else. The other, I've temporarily forgot his name. Not Tama Tonga. The guy who used to be his tag team partner. I forget his name. You know the one I'm on about. Anyway, I think they could all individually, and maybe the Tongas be a tag team. I think they're all capable individually of doing something. I just don't like the MFT thing. I really don't. And I'm super annoyed that Shinsuke Nakamura, one of my favourite wrestlers, has lost to one of the MFTs. But I am actually quite intrigued by Tama Tonga. I definitely think I wouldn't say main event by any stretch of the imagination. I definitely think an intercontinental champion, maybe. So not the top card, but maybe just the middle card. I definitely think there's something that you could do with him at least. Anyway. So I should probably say I really enjoyed Smackdown, by the way. I thought it was an excellent show. I've been really enjoying it this year as well. Because Smackdown, I mean, it was dreadful, like the last 3 or 4 months of last year. Absolute garbage. And now you've got all the NXT people coming in, which is what I've been recommending. Shout out to me. Obviously, you've got Tricky Williams coming in. You've had Obafemi coming in. Who else have we had now? Not Kit Walton. There's someone else. Who else has come in from NXT recently? I've completely lost my train of thought on that. Anyway, quite a few people from NXT have come in, and it's really reinvigorated the show. So yeah, no, it's been excellent recently. So shout out to the writers and everyone from WWE. I know they get a lot of stick, and I give them stick, but I thought they were really good. Really good shows. Smackdown. Really enjoying it. One thing I did not enjoy, however, and I know this is a bit harsh because I really like all four women, especially one of them. I thought the Liv Morgan, Jordan Grace, Jade Cargill, and Raquel Rodriguez segment and match was really bad. As in, the match was fine, but I don't know. I can't really think of how to describe it because I just adjust myself. I can't think of how to describe it, but it just didn't work for me. It just felt very rushed. It felt just thrown together, which I guess was what they were going for because it was like on the fly thrown together. Um, I don't get this reaction to Jordan Grace either. By the way, I really like Jordan Grace. I have enjoyed her work immediately. I didn't see a lot of her in NXT. I saw a bit of her in TNA. I really enjoy Jordan Grace's work, and she doesn't seem to be clicking. I'm not entirely sure why, because she should really. Because she's got a great look. I mean, her physicality is fantastic. Athleticism, I think she's a really good talker potentially as well. I've really enjoyed Jordan Grace so far, and so I'm not really getting why people don't. I won't say they don't like it, but they just don't seem to be that keen. Liv Morgan's obviously fantastic, but I just didn't think the whole thing worked, to be honest. Also, as well, is Jade Cargill a face now? Is she a heel? What are we doing? Like, I'm assuming Liv's going to do this thing that Charlotte did the other year, where she'll just keep the title holders guessing until the very last second. I don't know. My money would be on Stephanie Vaquer versus Liv Morgan. I wouldn't be surprised at all if Stephanie Vaquer loses that title before. To be honest, I wouldn't be surprised at all if she loses it to Raquel Rodriguez, and then they end up doing like Judgment Day War or something like that. Can I just say as well, shout out most improved wrestler of the last year is Raquel Rodriguez. I think that woman is fantastic. I thoroughly enjoy watching her. Um, like she can talk, she can go. Some of her moves are absolutely devastating. Her look is absolutely fantastic. I love the touch that she's just done with the glasses. She's quite sarcastic. She's engaging. So shout out to Raquel Rodriguez. I really think there's a huge talent in there. Whether she's going to be able to get past, I don't know, your Charlottes, Becky Lynch's, and all that sort of stuff. I don't know, but we'll have to wait and see. Um, yeah, but yeah, that segment lost me a little bit. Who wins the fight? You or Brock? Um, me, Finn, of course. I could beat Brock Lesnar. If my son was here now, he'd be like, nah. Because he started calling me this onk thing as well. It's like, no, no chance. It's like, I'm not onk, I'm your dad. Stop it with the onk, dude. Yeah, no, Finn, to clarify, Brock Lesnar would kill me. I would not fight him. Even if you pay me about 20 million quid so I could make sure that my family was all right after I'd been crippled by Brock Lesnar, then I might stupidly consider it. But no, I would not fight Brock Lesnar. Who wins the fight, me or Brock? You, Finn, absolutely. Thank you, Kitty. Right, so where did we get to? Oh, yes, just very quickly. Drew McIntyre and that promo. All I'll say is watch Drew McIntyre's promo. I'm not going to tell you anything about it. I'm not going to tell you anything in it, but it's one of the most passionate, heartfelt promos that I've heard in a very long time. Drew was dropping science on people last night. You can tell when someone's written something. You can tell when someone's just gone out and said something. He was It was fantastic. It was one of the best promos I've heard for a long time. I am so proud of Drew as well, obviously being British. He's what that bloke's had to come back from. I won't say it because obviously Drew doesn't need me saying that sort of thing, but he's had a lot of personal situations in his life, especially over the last 10 years. Obviously, he got released as well, went back to the independents in Scotland, and he's had to start all over again. And in my opinion, I think Drew McIntyre is one of the best wrestlers in the business at the minute. Yeah, no, absolutely fantastic. Shout out to Drew. But yeah, please go and watch the promo, folks, because it was really, really, really good. Let's have a look. Bye bye, Kitty. See you later. Thanks for watching. Yeah, I was going to say, folks, I'm not going to be on much longer myself because we've already gone 70 odd minutes, but yeah. Which is fine. It's cool. It's cool. So, yeah, I've talked about the Cody Rhodes, Jacob Fatu, and Cody, like I said, unless there's a reason behind it. I don't get why you would get rid of Sami Zayn and Jacob Fatu from the Elimination Chamber unless they're going to go with Fatu and Rhodes at WrestleMania, or unless it's going to be Brock Lesnar versus Cody. My money is on Cody Rhodes versus Brock Lesnar. I think he'll take him out in the Elimination Chamber, and I think they'll tie it back to that match that they had at SummerSlam. So not the SummerSlam just gone, it was the previous one, I think. Maybe they'll tie it back to that, I don't know, because obviously Brock needs someone to work with him, and if Roman and Punk taken, obviously Seth Rollins is one of the big stars of the company, but he's injured, so he's not able to face Brock. Unless, of course, Seth Rollins is healthy. I mean, there are lots of people out there who are either not with WWE or, from what we know, injured but maybe not injured. You've got Kevin Owens floating about there. I mean, I've not heard a medical update for Kevin Owens in a long, long time. Maybe there's a reason for that. Who knows? So I would love Kevin KO to come back because he's one of my favourite wrestlers. Oh, thank you, Finn. That's very nice. I've just noticed your comment. Cheers, dude. Yeah, I mean, you've still got a Karrion Kross. I mean, I like I said, I've said all along, I don't buy that whole angle. I do not buy it at all. I definitely think Karrion Kross. I still think it's a work personally, but we'll have to wait and see. So you've got Solo. Oh yeah, that was the thing. So you had Solo Sikoa, Randy Orton, and Aleister Black. Yeah, match was all right. Well, it was what it was. It was a fun match. It was fine. I really liked the Aleister Black and Zelina entrance, by the way. Very, very into that. Yeah, the match was what it was. Also, as well, when after Drew did that promo, which I found very interesting, Trick Williams came out and basically stepped in his lemon pepper steppers to I can't do that as well as Trick. To basically Drew McIntyre, and Drew basically went proper British on him. It was just like, if you come to me again, lad. Basically, did you know John Cena retired? I did. Yeah, it wasn't good. It wasn't good. It'll be a huge loss to the business. Huge loss to the business. Yeah, shout out to John. Yeah, no, it was. Yeah, my son was quite upset about that as well, unfortunately. But yeah, no, if it was John's time to go, it's John's time to go. I was very upset about AJ Styles as well the other day. But yeah, it is what it is. But yeah, fair play to Trick Williams. That was really good. The little segment with him and Drew was like, basically, I'll put those lemon pepper steppers where the sun doesn't shine. Now, basically, jog on. Which I just thought was very British and very, very good. So I don't know whether that's a thing. They do seem to be pushing Trick Williams. Maybe that's the main event. That's a hell of a way of getting someone over. Maybe Obafemi and Trick Williams both win their first matches at WrestleMania. Maybe Trick Williams wins the Elimination Chamber. Maybe he beats Drew McIntyre. I mean, I don't know. Because like I said, I just think WrestleMania, I'm just going off the fact that WrestleMania usually has 3 or 4 main events, at least 3. I think it's very obvious it's going to be Rhea versus Io now. Very, very obvious. I'm going for Cody Rhodes and Brock Lesnar, and I'm going to go with CM Punk. Well, obviously that's already been confirmed, Punk and Roman, and then there are your 4 huge matches. And I think those are probably the biggest matches that are going to be on offer at the minute. Obviously, we still don't know what's happening with Becky Lynch. I mean, I'm guessing it's going to be Becky Lynch versus AJ Styles. God, that'd be fun, wouldn't it? Becky Lynch, I tell you what, I reckon Becky would be up for it as well, actually. Becky Lynch versus AJ Lee would be my guess. And yeah, basically, folks, after 75 minutes, that was Smackdown. So, yeah, like I said, I'll put a little thing in the video, guys. Why am I putting a thing in the video? Oh, yeah, I put up a little thing in the video. I don't give a damn. Tribal Chief said. Cool. Thank you, Bandu, for that. I take it you're not a Roman Reigns fan. I'm a CM Punk fan anyway, so I kind of agree, I guess. Yeah, no, overall, guys, I thought SmackDown was excellent. Like I said, I wrote about it on my Substack, and I'm also on Reddit as well. I'm on, what am I on Reddit, it's Geek Story. In fact, let me just have a look at my Reddit. I've completely forgotten what my Reddit community thing's called, which isn't good because I'm the only moderator. I should know what it's called. Let me have a look. And now I can't even find my Reddit. That's it. Geeks of Wrestling. Geeks of Wrestling on Reddit. So I've got a whole little community on there. I've got like I think we've got 30 people now. So and I've literally only been doing it for a few weeks, and it's quite cool. So if you want to join me on that, you're more than can do. Let's have a look. Oh, Kitty, don't put your address on. Don't put your address on just in case you don't any naughties coming to get you or anything like that. I'm sure there won't, but just be a bit careful. Don't give it. Let's have a look. Hello, chill guy. Oh, cheers. Hi, Hesbar. You all right? How you doing? Yeah, well done, Kitty. I wasn't having a go at you, Kitty. Just you've got to be careful, obviously, because there's very strange people as well. Yeah, well done. Good. I am black. So am I. Yeah, cool. There we go. But yeah, folks, that was my review of SmackDown. Basically, sorry for anyone who, like I said, is listening on this podcast. I know there's quite a few people that listen to this as a podcast after I've done live. So, like I said, if you don't want to hear all the waffling on about films, which I really enjoyed, by the way, because I'm a massive film guy. Shout out to everyone that spoke to me about it. That was really awesome. Thanks, guys. If you don't want to hear all that, just listen from minute 43. When the video's processed, I'll put a little time code in or something like that, and I'll put it in the comments section underneath. You know what I'm trying to say. Sorry, it's very late, folks, and I'm getting very, very tired. It's been a very long week. Overall, then, SmackDown. Let's have a look. Okay, guys. What on earth was I going to say? Oh, yeah. See you, chill guy. Yeah, see you later, mate. What was that? That's completely thrown me off. That actually. Yeah, Kitty. I'm literally heading off in probably the next 5 minutes. I'm just doing my wrap up now. So yeah. Yeah, let's have a look. Abu Dar. Put simply, lad, you're a complete wanker. Bye. Anyway, sorry for using the W, folks. That's the first time I've ever done it, but I'm not being spoke to like that by some fawning little virgin who yeah, smells like garbage, basically. Yes, anyway, right, folks, I think this is probably a good enough time to edit. Sorry about that thing at the end. That isn't yeah, I'm not being spoke to like that by some little fawning virgin tosspot. Right, so just at the end, basically, like I said, shout out to Smackdown. It was really, really good. Thoroughly enjoyed it. Match of the night for me was Rhea Ripley and Io Sky versus Kiana J. Shout out to Kiana and well done to her. I think she's doing really, really well at the minute. And she has proven me wrong. So, and Julia as well, obviously. So that's match of the night. In terms of a grade, I'm going to give SmackDown. Sorry, guys, if anyone's making any more comments, just because I need to get through this a little bit quickly if I can do. Yeah, for SmackDown, I'm going to give it a grade. I'm going to give it a B plus. Really enjoyed it. Really enjoyed it. It was very, very good. I wouldn't say it was quite as good as the one that we had at the start of the year, but it was very, very decent. So yeah. By the way, to that guy, like, what if you? Why you want to stream that you don't even like? Is it because you have no friends, or are you just like a stupid prat in general? Let me know if you come back with a fake account, lad. Yeah, we'll get off it because it's just completely. Or she, whoever it was. Anyway. Right, folks, in terms of what's coming up, so I am. What am I doing tomorrow? Yes, right. So, very cool things coming up. So, I'm going to go and see Liverpool versus Man City tomorrow. Shout out to the bro. And I'll see him tomorrow at a certain location in Leeds. So I'll be doing live reaction to Man City Liverpool probably about 10:30 tomorrow. So I'll try and time it with match of the day too, and we can have a chat about the Reds. Hopefully beating Manchester City. Fingers crossed. Hopefully, because the Reds could do with beating Manchester City because we are a long way behind fifth and fourth place now, and it's not looking too great. Anyway, Monday there'll be no live reaction basically to anything because I have lots of stuff to do basically. Tuesday will be Monday Night Raw, so I'll be on 10:30 discussing that. Wednesday should have been Sunderland versus Liverpool live reaction, only I'm not actually going to see the game because I'm going to be in Bradford watching Fozzy and breaking the walls down with Chris Jericho, which I'm thoroughly looking forward to. Can't wait. So, like I said, guys, keep an eye on the channel on Wednesday night, sort of Thursday, early hours of Thursday morning. There'll be, obviously, I'm not sure if I'll be able to put a lot of videos up because it's music. I don't know if I'll get copyrighted, but hopefully there'll be a lot of stuff involving Jericho and Fozzy, and hopefully I can show some of the stuff to you, but we'll have to wait and see. So I'm not sure whether I'm staying in Bradford just yet or whether I'm coming home. I haven't decided just yet, but hopefully maybe about 1 o'clock in the morning to maybe 2 o'clock or something like that. So yeah, there'll be Chris Jericho on Wednesday, which is still really weird. I can't believe I'm going to see Chris Jericho actually live, like a few feet away from me in like 4 days. That's going to be awesome. So yeah, the Sunderland Liverpool game on Wednesday. Basically, I'm going to miss the whole thing, guys. So I won't have seen anything until about 1 or 2 o'clock in the morning. God knows when. So I'll be doing live reaction to Sunderland Liverpool because I've got the day off from work, which is awesome. Definitely at the minute. Anyway, moving swiftly on. I'll probably do a live reaction to Sunderland Liverpool about 2 o'clock in the afternoon the next day. Like I said, if I've been travelling all night, it might have to be a bit later. I'm also gonna try and be on twice that day because obviously I do wrestling and Liverpool as well, and AEW will be on Wednesday night as well. In fact, I might be able to watch AEW live because the time I get back should be about 1 o'clock in the morning actually. So I might be able to do. That's not a bad idea, actually. I might be able to do live reaction to AEW, potentially. Leave that one with us. But, yeah, if I do AEW live reaction early hours of Thursday morning, I'll do the Liverpool reaction on the late hours of Thursday night, if you see what I mean. So, yeah, leave that one with us. And then Friday on the channel is always Toy Shorts Fridays. That's where I put loads of toy shorts on, basically. There's some that have gone on tonight as well if you want to check it out. All my stuff's on playlist. That's Geek Boy Does Toy Hunts. this is usually, for the wrestling stuff, it's Geek Boy does wrestling. If it's Liverpool, it's Geek Boy does Liverpool, and so on and so forth. I've got about 16, 17 playlists of different things because I'm interested in all sorts of stuff like horror, obviously Ghana, toy hunts, action figures and collectibles, movies, football stadium tours. Basically, if you just go to Geek Boy Meta 7381, it's all on there on my playlist, but there should be something for everyone basically. But my main things are wrestling and Liverpool. And speaking of, I'll be back for the late night Smackdown reaction show, which this was meant to be and kind of wasn't the first half. I'll be back on for that this time next week. And there is one more thing actually, because I'm getting into all this sort of stuff. So I'm actually going out on Saturday night next week with a group of friends. That's them, by the way. So the Smackdown reaction show could have to be. It might end up being a video next week. I'm not totally sure about next weekend. Next weekend is a bit of a debacle because I've got a best mate's birthday. I'm supposed to be doing Smackdown. Also, at the same time as all that, Liverpool are playing Brighton. I haven't got a clue how next weekend's going to work out. So yeah, just leave that one with me, guys. I think I'm watching the Liverpool Brighton game, then going to my friend's birthday, then coming back. So yeah, you'll have to leave it next Saturday night with me. I'm not sure how that's going to happen. And then on the Sunday, me and my vaunted little boy are going to Leeds Comic Con because I've got a Comic Con playlist as well. I'm a massive Comic Con person. So there'll be loads of vlogs and shorts from that as well. It's the event at the Royal Armouries, so I'll take you around a bit of Leeds as well. There you go, that's my schedule. Show you like loads of little geeky toy things and action figures and collectibles and this, that and the other. And yeah, that'll be on this time next Sunday, so probably everything will be up and the vlog will be up about 8 o'clock at night. I want to say something along them lines, and yeah, no, it's going to be good. But yeah, I'll be back tomorrow about 10:30 for the Liverpool City reaction. So yes, let me just check if there's been any more. Let's have a look. Are you? Are you watching any of the Winter Olympic events? No, man, but I'll leave you with one thing. I was incredibly delighted with the wonderful reception that JD Vance and his wife had last night, and I found it to be highly amusing and brilliant. Anyway, right, guys. Thank you all for watching. I'm going to head off because I'm extremely tired, but I'll be back on tomorrow for the Liverpool Man City reaction. So thanks everyone for watching. Thanks everyone for commenting. See you soon, and I will see you tomorrow about 10:30. Have a great weekend, and I'll see you all later. Bye bye.